You're listening to the True North Success Podcast. Real stories of personal, professional, and financial wins from Alberta's best. With your hosts, Gary Ma and Amy Kim.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Today my special guest is Anne Chong. She is an Alberta-based entrepreneur and business leader where she is the founder and owner of Soth and Visual Eyes software. Anne works closely with business owners in the optometry and healthcare space to help them streamline operations, improve systems, and grow profitable businesses through effective software and process improvements. Also, Anne is a founding member of Sidebar, which is a private leadership program designed to accelerate professional growth, leadership, capability, and impact. It is my pleasure to have Anne Chong on the show today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Anne, I gave a quick overview of your success, but can you fill in the details of what you do, who you serve, and how long you've been doing this for?
So our business has been doing this since 1996. So we are in our 30th year, which is pretty exciting. I've been doing this full time since 99, so not quite as long as that. And what drives me is helping businesses to get to the next level, to streamline their practices. And it excites me when I get to go into a clinic and they have their aha moments where they see where Visualize is going to make that difference for them.
Right, right. So tell me a little bit more about the Visual Eyes software. Well, like what is it and what happens with it?
So Visualize is a all-in-one practice management solution. It does everything from a patient perspective throughout the whole clinic process. So from booking appointments to dealing with insurance, invoicing, glasses orders, contact lens orders, examinations. We integrate with the equipment. We have direct ordering so that as they're processing patient orders, they can do those. And then we also leverage on top of that some online tools, so online booking, automated communication, and visual forms so they can patients can fill out their information virtually. So yeah, pretty much covers it all of what would be needed to run an optometry practice.
Okay, so really you're helping optometrists, but you're not an optometrist yourself.
I am not. I'm an engineer.
Oh, okay. So like how did you get involved with creating like this Visual Eye software? Like what was the driving force behind it?
Excellent question. So it's actually my brother-in-law. So my husband started the business, and it was because my brother-in-law was looking for a Windows-based solution. And if we all think back to 1995, it was the first time Windows came out in a way that it is out today. And so it was the first time that businesses were starting to use that operating system. And so he was tasked with finding Windows solution, which didn't exist. And my husband at the time was looking for a project that he could sell to multiple customers. And so the two worked together, just perfect timing.
Right. So really there was this opportunity of being able to help optometrists and create this Windows type environment for them to grow their business.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. And through that period of time, like what kind of sets you apart from the competition type of thing? Like what comes easy to you that others might find challenging?
So I think from the beginning, it was not about how did other people solve this problem. It was about finding our own way to solve the problem. So it was about fully understanding what the friction point or problem that the clinic was trying to solve by computerizing it, and then designing the best solution to be able to do that could be applied across multiple clinics.
Right. So that kind of led to sort of a, would you say, an organic type solution? Really, I guess, focused on what the individual needed at the time.
Yeah, so definitely our initial clients strongly influenced how Visualize developed in terms of what problems they were trying to solve. And lucky for us, those clinics had a diverse set of requirements, which has allowed us to grow in the way that we have grown. So we service both small cold start clinics all the way through to multi-location clinics. So our client number one was a 3 clinic office. And so right away being able to deal with both his small locations as well as his large location provided us with a lot of that insight into how to create a system that was going to service him
Right.
and everyone else appropriately. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, along your journey, you've gotten into leadership. So tell me more about the Sidebar leadership program.
So that was an interesting side that happened for a couple of years. So they approached me, and you clearly got that off my LinkedIn profile. Because that is what they had asked us to do at the time. It's an interesting organization that is designed to bring together actually professionals from any scope. So I was
Uh,
specifically part of a founders group, but they have a number of different groups. And they meet regularly to address pressing needs within their businesses.
right, right. So is it so you're helping people with leadership development?
So in the group I was part of, it was founders. So it
Okay.
was, but they do have groups that are more geared towards like CEOs or CFOs. So there's, depending on where you're coming into the group would be who you would be grouped with. So you're grouped with someone, like people. And so I was grouped with founders. So some of the founders were brand new to entrepreneurship, and others, like myself, had been involved in their businesses for, well, in my case, decades, but other
Right,
cases,
right,
not quite so long. And then, if someone was having an issue with a particular element in their business, we could discuss it and sort of provide insights in terms of um, things that we had done within our businesses in similar situations. So basically, taking you out of a lot of times with entrepreneurs, we feel like we have to come up with everything ourselves. We
right.
often don't have a support structure to support us, and so this is the idea with this was to create a support structure.
Right, right. So, it sounds like it's almost like a mastermind, where I'm not sure if you're familiar with that term.
I am
No?
not familiar with that
Okay.
term.
So it's where individuals with experience and knowledge help other people who maybe don't have that experience, that knowledge, and they share and collaborate type of thing and help each other move forward.
Yep, and the idea is that everybody is helping equally. So it's not that one person is the um, always the coach and one person is always the recipient. It was
Right.
definitely, I might have been able to help here, and somebody else might be able to help there. Yeah, definitely a collaborative, and we should all get out of it, both in
Right.
terms of what we're able
Yeah.
to contribute to the rest of the team, but the rest of the group, but also in terms of what we get out of the group.
Yeah, yeah. So it definitely sounds like it was set up like a mastermind.
Okay.
So everybody collaborates. Somebody has a problem, the other people might have experience and share their ideas, and that just kind of goes around, to the next person. When they have a problem, and then they share that problem, and other people might have connections and contacts and solutions, ideas, things like that. So very cool. Very cool. Is that particular leadership group still going on right now?
Yes, although I'm no longer a part of it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. What kind of tips or suggestions would you give someone who wants to be more successful?
Oh, that really depends on where they are in their
Right.
current success. Um, I mean, the probably the biggest things that have helped me is, I mean, obviously Visualize is quite niche, so that has made it easier, I think, in some respects, because there's a lot of industry knowledge that I've garnered over the years, to make us as efficient and effective as we are in this industry. But I
Hmm.
would say one of the biggest things that we implemented that made the biggest impact on our personal business would be creating metrics and figuring out which metrics actually drove the behaviors that, we needed to have happen to grow. And yeah, they talk about measure what matters, and yeah, I would say that's definitely a key a key piece to success.
Right, right, right. So having some key performance indicators and monitoring those and then adjusting where you can to see if you're meeting those performance indicators. That sounds like a
Yeah, and
fantastic plan.
the most important piece of that is making sure that those performance indicators are root performance indicators. So we're looking at things that the behaviors that will drive what we need to grow the business.
Right, right, right. What would you say is one of the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome in your career, and how were you able to turn that into a positive?
Um, We live in Red Deer, Alberta, and we
Okay.
love Red Deer, Alberta, but we're a tech company.
Okay.
And there's no education for tech in Red Deer, Alberta.
Okay.
And so, one of our biggest challenges is finding developers that want to live in Red Deer. So those that we have love it here, but
Right.
attracting them, into a smaller town, and not that Red Deer is small, but compared to some of the big cities, obviously it is. But we find with our particular culture, we like our staff to be on site.
Hmm.
They do hybrid, so that they do have the opportunities to work from home and that kind of thing. But one of the things that makes our business, succeed is the interaction that we have at the office and the staff events we do and that type of thing. And so having staff be in Red Deer is important to us, and attracting the appropriate staff members can be challenging.
Right, right, right. So right now, are you still seeing that challenge, or were you able to overcome those challenges? Like, uh, are
So
you
I would say
offering,
that,
you know,
yeah, so that challenge goes in and out.
okay,
And so, yeah, so we try to advertise locally, try to obviously
right.
bring up the brand locally. It's funny, we'll get people who'll be like, "You're in Red Deer? I've lived in Red Deer for a decade and didn't know that 2 decades, and I didn't know you were here. I didn't know we had any tech companies in Red Deer." So, yes, part of it I think is just education of
Right,
what's
right, right.
available.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we've started to go some of the local university job fairs and stuff like that to try
Okay.
to educate better that yes, we're here.
Right, right. Well, I mean,
But
that's quite interesting, like, well, I guess with technology, you can really technically do it anywhere with a computer.
that is that is correct. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, it sounds like things are going really well for you and your business. As an entrepreneur and business executive, a lot of time is spent running the active business part. When looking towards the future, many don't want to have to be working so hard for that income. So some of them, look at different ways of creating income and profit outside of active working. Things like maybe investing in stocks, bonds, crypto, or using a financial planner or something like that. What are your thoughts about, creating ways of creating income outside of your active business?
So my husband retired 16 years ago, and in that he worked to diversify. That was his
Okay.
goal. So we have dabbled in a number of things. Probably the most successful has been real estate. So we bought some real estate at the right time in Alberta. And
Right.
so we are getting to the point that will be paid off shortly. And so that will definitely help us in our retirement. And then, yes, of course, stocks, bonds are other ways that we've accomplished that.
So it's important from what I'm hearing is that it is important to look forward and diversify away from a little bit of your active income and put, your business earnings into something perhaps a little bit different and passively.
Correct. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we've always done that from the beginning. We've always taken a portion of our income and put it into other investment avenues to make sure that we're preparing for the future.
Right. Yeah, because you I mean, at some point you want to retire, you get older, don't want to work, things like that. And you still want the income.
Yeah, I love what I do, and I often tell people that I will be like my mother, and she chose to work until I think she's 78 now, and is still helping run the family business, but in a way that she wants to do it because she loves what she does. And although I don't plan to work till I'm 78, I do plan to work for a while yet. And
Right.
yeah, I love what I do, and it energizes me. And so if you have a job and a business that does that, then it's a lot easier.
Cool. As we're wrapping up our interview, what kind of exciting plans do you have in the works in the next 6 to 12 months?
There's so many things we're working on. I mean, as with any tech company, we're definitely working within the AI space. So we're doing that both internally for our internal processes in terms of refining and elevating
Hmm.
staff. We're ramping up our team. So unlike other people who are talking about laying off because of AI,
Right.
we're bringing more on in an effort to move some of those initiatives forward. And then within the software, again, just continuing to streamline processes and how AI is able to help us do that. Really focusing on the pieces of the job that staff hate doing and how do we remove some of that friction so that they love their
Yeah.
job as much as I love my job.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Like AI is expanding everywhere. So just getting that integrated into your business and systems sounds very
Yeah.
cool. And that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your thoughts and insights with us. It was a real pleasure to have you on the show. And if people want to connect with you, what should they do?
That was a great question. Well, you can find me on LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest way to connect with me. You can find our business on our website. So that would be visual-eyes.ca.
Right on. Thank you so much.
Want to share your success story? Apply to be a guest at truenorthsuccessshow.com/guest. We'd love to hear from you.